What's up guys, Luke here, and today we're going to continue with the results of my international airline poll. We have two more heats to discuss, and after that I'll explain how this thing is going to continue. I'm getting a lot of good insight on which programs you guys like, and I plan on focusing on serving the audience, and I want this channel to be a place you can go to learn about the actual execution side of things, and I want to be able to provide real world experience to help you guys. I really want to be a source of legitimate information for the tough questions and for folks that plan to put rubber to the road, so to speak, and actually pull the trigger on some of these big league redemptions. With all that out of the way, if you want to keep up with this current tournament to see who is the audience's favorite international airline carriers, then slap that subscribe button, like the video, and let's get into it. All right guys, this video is a part 2. If you missed the first one, make sure you catch it. This video is about the current polls I have on my community YouTube page. There are a total of 4 heats of 4 international carriers each. Top 2 airlines move forward. And in that second round, the quarterfinals, the airlines will be seeded by what percentage of the vote they earned. We're going to play this down to the finals and see who is actually you guys' favorite international airline based on how you're playing the points and miles game. Simple enough? Well, first I'm going to go over the results of heats 3 and 4, and I'll mention a couple popular ways to use each one of these programs. Hopefully this will be something interesting to see how folks view certain programs, and maybe we'll all learn something. Also, comment below and tell me who you think will actually win this thing. Just a quick review, the top 2 programs in heat 1 were British Airways and Air France KLM. They will be moving on to the quarterfinals. In Heat 2, it was a dogfight, but Air Canada's Aeroplan and Emirates will move on. Avianca Life Miles put up a great fight, but they finished 3rd and they will go home to Colombia. Now we are on to Heat 3. Coming in last in Heat 3 is Aer Lingus. This is really kind of a surprise. Aer Lingus earns Avios, and of the Avios earning programs, they are likely the least known in the YouTube sphere, but rest assured they are still a great program. Aer Lingus has its own Chase co-branded credit card, and it is a transfer partner of Chase and American Express. And I will mention that all Avios can be kind of combined together, so you can earn Avios with all 4 major issuers. The most popular case use with Aer Lingus has to be economy tickets from the US to Dublin. You can book that for as low as 13,000 Avios. That is unreal. One more tip is if you want to avoid the crazy British Airways fuel surcharges, you could fly to Dublin and then book a quick flight to London for 4,000 Avios. Could be worth it if you're a budget-minded folks or if you just wanted to experience both countries in the same trip. Aer Lingus is going home early, but please don't sleep on this program. It's worth taking a closer look. Iberia Avios made a valiant effort but fell short and finished 3rd. I've been diving into Iberia more lately because I'm considering heading to Spain soon. Iberia is another Avios program, so you know the deal. You can earn tons in every program, and they also have a co-branded credit card with Chase. I did recently learn that you can book plenty of short-haul American Airlines flights using Iberia, and their website actually isn't too bad. I can book Columbus to Miami for 9,000 Avios, and Columbus to JFK for 7,500 Avios. So that brings a ton of value for me. The most popular has to be the Chicago to Madrid off-peak for 42,500 Avios in business class. Let's also maybe consider something crazy like Madrid to Tokyo off-peak in business class for 59,500 Avios. Sounds strange, but I really feel like one of you guys would do it for the cool points. There is a 30% transfer bonus with American Express to Iberia right now, and this program has a lot to offer. Let's get to the winners of Heat 3. In second place is a program that really isn't well known, but those that are familiar with it get insane value from Turkish Miles and Smiles. No Chase, no American Express, and I think that really handicaps this powerhouse as far as popularity as a program. City thank you points and Capital One miles transfer though, and I'll be honest, that makes both of their programs really underrated in the game as far as I'm concerned. Business class flights from the US to Europe are 45,000 points. Yes, that's correct, 45,000 in business class. But here's the last word in the whole redemption game. Continental US to Hawaii for 7,500 points. 15,000 points round trip. I'm not joking. That value is insane. The same flight is 25,000 points round trip in business class. Now, that is a mic drop for the next person I hear say, well, City thank you points aren't really that great. And I'll interject my probably unpopular opinion here. You really aren't a world traveler if you've never been to Istanbul. I said what I said. Okay, guys, winning this heat is a juggernaut in the points and miles game, and that is ANA. The only major credit card issuer that will transfer to ANA is American Express. Think about that next time you hear someone rave about the Chase transfer partners. They don't have one of the best international airlines in their ecosystem. But hey, they have Hyatt. Just relax, I'm kidding. Do we even need to mention the round-trip business class seats to Japan for 75,000 points? You can fly their legendary first class for 150,000, which might seem high, but from what I understand, their first class is an amazing experience and well worth it. I think those flights cost 20,000 bucks. For those of you that really like to visit Asia, ANA will get you to China, Guam, Hong Kong, Korea, Taiwan, or the Philippine Islands for 80,000. Pretty sweet. Okay, for the fourth and final heat, and this one I think was really interesting as well. Let's just get right into it. Getting the least amount of votes in the entire tournament was Qantas. Now, I will say that's kind of surprising to me. Qantas is the big-time Australia, and they're part of the One World Alliance. Everyone I know wants to visit Australia someday. You can transfer American Express MR points, City Thank You points, and Capital One miles to Qantas. No chase. Australia is pretty far away, and first class is the only civilized way to get there. Qantas does have availability, but it is difficult to find, and it will cost you 162,000 points. Want to visit Tel Aviv? 90,000 points will get you there in El Al business class. On the other end of the spectrum, Qantas is another program that allows you to book cheap American Airlines flights. To round them out, you can do East Coast to Dubai, round trip for 90,000 points, and that's on the Emirates economy. Either way, Qantas will not be moving on. Next up, we have a program that will not be moving on in the tournament, but it's also a program I know next to nothing about. EVA Air, or EVA Air. They are partnered with Citi and Capital One, so you do have some options there. EVA Air is a Taiwanese airline, and there was a YouTuber that has made some videos about using their program for redemptions, but I super apologize right now, I can't remember his name. If you can find out, put it in the comments, and everyone should check out his channel. He makes some really good stuff. One popular redemption I see is you can fly United States Transcontinental in Polaris class for 29,000 points. That sounds like a winner to me. I also see Newark, New Jersey to Tel Aviv in business class on United Polaris for 67,500 points. That looks very interesting to me. But since they are not moving on, we will get to the programs that have actually qualified for the next heat. Finishing second in the final heat is the Qatar Airways Avios program. Yes, that is the program with the legendary Qatar Q Suites, which is amazing. Citi is the only issuer you can transfer from, but remember, these are Avios, so you can transfer or combine Avios from British Airways, Iberia, or Aer Lingus. The coolest way to use Qatar Avios is to fly to Doha, Qatar, in the Q Suites for 70,000 points. Another redemption could be US to Europe on American Airlines metal for 70,000 in business class one way. Honestly, this one will not likely move on much further in this tournament because even though the Q Suites are great and they're a big deal, there just isn't a lot of versatility with Qatar. But I still like the program. Winning the fourth heat and winning the highest percentage in the entire tournament is Virgin Atlantic. What a great program it is too. You can transfer from Amex, Chase, Citi, and Capital One, and they even have their own credit card. There seems to always be some type of transfer bonus to take advantage. Where do we even start when we talk about redemptions with Virgin? There are just so many. Honestly, this program deserves its own series of videos. 7,500 Virgin miles for domestic at Delta flights. This is actually how I position to JFK for international flights. Eastern and Central US to Japan on ANA first class is still just 120,000 Virgin miles. And that is one of the champion redemptions in the entire game. Delta One suites from the US to Europe for 50,000 points. That's unreal. Don't forget 48,500 miles for Air France KLM flights to Europe in business class. I'm not going to fanboy the program too much, but this definitely is the first seed in the quarterfinals and actually my pick to win it all. Comment below and tell me who you think is going to win. Before I go, let me show you a sneak preview for the quarterfinals based on the first round voting. New polls will be out Monday, noon Eastern Standard Time. Now, I may mess that up because I think I'll actually be in Europe by then. Virgin Atlantic will be the #1 seed and Heavyweight Aeroplan will be the #2. This will be 2 heats of 4. Again, the top 2 move on to the semifinals. The semifinals will be 1 heat with the 4 remaining teams to set up a blockbuster heavyweight matchup of the 2 favorite international airlines. Guys, give the video a like and vote next week. If you stayed all the way to the end, I thank you and I appreciate every single one of you that watches my videos.